Hey YouTube, you're watching the JR Sig reviews here today, and today's review is not going to be on a pack that was brought back from America. Instead it is going to be on a British cigarette. Now one of the reasons being that I'm not doing a review on one of the last packs of the American cigarettes today is purely because I don't actually have it on me at the moment. I've still to obtain it from my brother. So anyway, besides that, let's get on to the review, and today's review is going to be on these Player's Navy Cut. The original unfiltered version is the only ones that you can get in UK from the original Player's brand. Besides your John Player Blues and stuff, I'll just pull one out of the pack, so they're quite awkward. As you can see, they are split into two compartments to keep them fresh. So anyway, and I'll show you the packaging design in a little minute. But first I'll get onto the cigarette. So here we are. As you can see, it's 70ml long, so it's unfiltered, and it says Player's Navy Cut. So let's get this lit up. And it's quite tightly packed as well, so it should burn quite slow, hopefully, but we'll see. First draw off the bat, it is exactly how I remember them. I forgot to mention at the start, if you have watched my smoking history, then you'll know that Player's Navy Cut was the first ever unfiltered cigarette that I tried. And it is one of 5 brands that are still available in the UK today, unfiltered brands. But yeah, these were the first ever unfiltered cigarette that I tried. And being an unfiltered cigarette trying for the first time, I was almost blown away by it, because obviously with me being used to filtered cigarettes, when I tried the unfiltered it was just kind of whoa. I got taken back, because with there being no filter, obviously there is more tar and nicotine that gets released into your system. But anyway, so the first unfiltered cigarette that I tried, and it tastes exactly how I remember it. First draw being quite nice. It's a little sweet on the first draw, but not too much complexity to the cigarette. But hopefully we'll get more flavour as I get down. Throat hit wise, I'm not getting anything at the moment, but that's probably because I've been used to smoking cigarettes from America. Even the filtered cigarettes are stronger than the unfiltered ones that you get over here, because with EU regulations limiting everything to 10mg of tar, 1.1mg of nicotine, as everyone knows. So throat hit at the moment, no, I'm not getting anything at all. But flavour wise, it's a pretty decent cigarette. It's got its own range of flavours, although it's not that bold, if I will say. But it is a good cigarette. Burn time kind of lets it down. I would have expected it to burn a little faster, with it being quite tightly packed, but obviously not. Draw wise as well, it's not great. I would have expected more from an unfiltered, but again that's probably because with it being quite tightly packed, the draw is affected a little bit. But we'll go ahead and check the body on this. Body's alright on it. I'm a little disappointed on it actually. Would have expected more from an unfiltered cigarette, but again, probably with it being quite tightly packed, it'll affect the body as well as the draw. I'm not too sure if that is the case or not. But again, with flavour, yeah, it is a nice tasting cigarette, but it is quite fast, and quite fast on the burn side, I'm afraid. As you can see, it's burning quite even. A little bit of blotching on the paper, but that's not too much to worry about. But yeah, flavour is, it's definitely there when it comes to flavour. It's a little spicy, it's a little sweet, but complexity of the flavours of the cigarette is kind of limited almost. That's all about what you're going to get. But it is nice. It's definitely a change from your usual filtered cigarettes you get in the UK. Unfiltered cigarettes in the UK generally tend to have a better tobacco quality than your filtered cigarettes. And I think that's probably because with being UK, you can kind of get away with the tobacco quality, you know, with them lacing them with heaps and heaps and heaps of chemicals. And obviously, they don't taste that great, if I'm honest. You can definitely taste the tobacco quality in here. It's nice. It's rich. It's tobacco-y tasting. It's a nice real cigarette. None of your flavours at all, besides your spiciness and sweetness. But yeah, it's definitely a good cigarette. I would definitely recommend you pick up a pack of Player's Navy Cut. And that's me just about down on the cigarette, and I'll get onto packaging design in a little minute. Alright, that's me done. Okay, so we'll get on to packaging design. As you can see, with it being a British cigarette, so you have your health one there saying smoking kills, and you have your picture one at the back. It says Players at the top with the guy, and it says Players all around the cigarette pack, and the stats for these are 10 milligrams of tar, 0.9 milligrams of nicotine, and 7 milligrams of carbon monoxide. So definitely a weak cigarette compared to the ones that I've tasted so far. I've tasted quite a lot of American cigarettes, tasted a lot of other European cigarettes that are still limited, but you kind of tend to get a little bit more throat hit, or you get a little bit more nicotine with the continental brands. But it's still a good cigarette if you are beginning your journey on unfiltered. Player's Navy Cut is definitely a good brand to start on. Some people are different. They prefer senior service, I've heard. But in my personal opinion, I don't know, senior service is quite chemically tasting. If I'm honest, I actually prefer Player's Navy Cut because I believe that they're round about the best you're going to get in terms of unfiltered cigarettes in the UK. Because I don't know, they generally have that kind of the better taste really of the rest. Your Woodbines are nice, Capstans are pretty good. Still have to do a review on them, and Park Drives are terrible in my opinion. Some people are different. Some people may like Park Drives, but ratings, no, not for me. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 for flavour. It has that unique richness to it, and it has its own flavour as well. It's a consistent cigarette as well. Burn time's not too great. I'd have to give that around about a 7 out of 10 for burn time. Aroma is quite nice. I'll have to give that around about an 8 out of 10. And chemical rating 0 out of 10. Can't taste any chemicals within the cigarette, which is a very big bonus. So overall rating, I'd give Player's Navy Cut 9 out of 10 for Player's Navy Cut. Show you the packaging one more time. Plain, as you can see with that guy there, it says Players at the top, and then it says Players all around the pack of the cigarette. So yeah, it's been my review on Player's Navy Cut Unfiltered, and until the next review guys, goodbye YouTube.